this. All right. Looks like everything is going well. All right. So, time to paint some Shadowkeep. As much as I love the banana boys, I just think they look better. Now we're just going through. Computer armor. Palette. Have not streamed over a streaming. Everything works. Better setup, so hopefully now the painting will actually follow. Tap that. Yeah, see now, as I move, the camera will actually follow the paint like the models. I know that's one thing I was suffering with. One thing I'm actually, right before I went live, I was shown uh, and it was actually inspired by some work I did, and it took about 10 months of painting to do, and it's absolutely amazing. So, and it's actually Shadowkeepers. There was a commission I did a long time ago. It's inspiring seeing somebody inspired by your work. But hopefully the streams look good. So I've never streamed to like do the restart or anything. So I don't know if anything's messing up. I need to restart streams or whatnot. No, this old. For whatever reason, it's not very much coverage. I don't want to just flop. And before stream, basically primed it with the gray sear, and then I airbrush, but you don't have to. But I did stylish purple, and then I did a undercoat of black Templar. Then I did a shade. It was one of the new ones, the Terror shade, I think. So that way it has this nice purple to the black. And I don't like to do when dark stuff. I don't like just doing kind of pure black, kind of reduced shade, or going up a color, doing gray, because I feel like it just doesn't make it pop. So I do a secondary color and a little bit more. Be doing well, so it's not getting too far out of when I'm moving around. It doesn't get out of focus nearly as so. There's high hopes. I feel like I can go not covering. Gotta. A little bit better. Okay. Good. Just kind of redo the brush. Doesn't kind of. If there's anybody else interested. So I think the three main colors when I use turn there was it's going to be Retributor armor for kind of the metallics or silver metallics. I'll use out the get an initial parts that we I kind of like how that's put right. Because if we cover it up, but I do like kind of a little bit more on side, less clear. Oh, size, however. No. Where else? So, all right. First pass. Wants just this top part. Kind of just going off of those. Right there. Awesome. Just being very delicate, like kind of dusting. Always easier to add more. I'm actually going to switch to a finer. Hurt. I swear I am. Okay, I don't know if I'm going crazy or not, but I swear the same song, even though it says that it's not. Oh, out of my brush. Oh, I if this doesn't work, then I'll just find some constant sound. I will figure out something better. Have that. Really do good to list. There we go. All right. Oh, that's right. We'll just go over a contrast for that centerpiece. All right. Oh, have a fair, like at least knowing where we want our gold. We'll probably do second on this eagle, and then we'll probably switch color. Bigger brush. Oh. See, it's a lot easier. I'm going to be wanting to cover over everything that. That second coat is definitely helping us. the thing I need. Get a little bit more gold on the wet palette. Because don't, you're gonna regret it. I've done too many times where I've just been lazy and like, not look, bugs me. That's probably just, and I know, because I know I don't do it while I'm painting it, and when I play, I'm just never going to touch it again, and it's just going to bug me for all the turn. This second coat, helping with coverage. Can that be? I forgot about the ink up here. Out. Um, That'll help. focus time on this. Ah, no, I talked and now I messed up. Like if you even remotely breathe up. Uh, everything that I kind of want to have gold. Still on the fence of and these. We'll see. Let's switch. We'll start going into Iron Warriors. And then maybe I'll help us decide a little bit farther on where to add more gold or where to add a third. That should. Oh. I mean, this. Okay. Excellent. How do you get or how do you get the black so smooth and the gold so shiny? So here I will show you off of the Custodes. So I used an airbrush on this, but I primed it with a gray sear, and then I did a stylish purple. It's a contrast. Yeah, I did stylish purple, and that gives it a purplish dark color. And then I did an undercoat, so just like where the shadows would be, I airbrushed Black Templar, and then on the top, I did a dark purple shade. I believe it was either that you could do Dritchy Violet, and there was also a new one for what it was. It was like a Tarragon or a Night shade. But yeah, a purple shade, and that's how I got this kind of silky black. And for the gold, honestly, I didn't water it down very much. I kind of had a fairly, I didn't want it to put too much water into it, then it breaks, and then it'll kind of streak. So you kind of have to, I wouldn't say glob, but add a fair amount of paint onto your brush, and then just kind of very carefully apply it to the model. But let's go back to the bike. But I hope that answered for you. Now, where do I want to put? I want to put right here. Break that up. And I'm just going as light as I can with my. Thank you for explaining. Looks very nice. Metallic paints turn into sparkling water for me often. Yep. So the biggest thing is just trust the process. Like for me, when I'm trying to thin it down, it's more just to get the tip wet, the paint wet. I mean, not the paint, the brush just either damp. Like even like you dip it in, then just kind of go with a paper towel, and then you'll be able to. That's more than enough moisture for these metallic paints. And hello, Beastodon. How you doing? Some Shadowkeepers. So I have plans for the future, and it requires these beautiful bikes. They've just been sitting in my shelf, unpainted, for like a year. Yeah, I need to get back on that. I didn't realize how much time has passed until I was like, I bought these during like the Battle Force boxes for like Christmas or something, and then all of a sudden they're doing more Battle Force boxes. I'm like, I have been waiting too long on this pile of shame. Oh. Here we are, and then I'm like, you know what? Maybe I should try streaming my painting again. I paint them anyways. Might as well live stream, right? And please thank you for the follow. I don't know why my alerts are not making the sounds. Can I do the edit? Go via over. Okay, hopefully that works again. So I haven't live streamed uh painting and stuff in over a year, so if stuff is not working, you'll have to tell me in the chat. Hopefully I can get that working again. So slowly but surely building my presence back up. I'm scared to build those larger models. The infantry is good enough trouble for me, at least for now. I hope I can maybe get a box of Terminators come summer. Really want them. Yeah, like, are you talking, like, which faction of Terminators? Question. But in terms of larger models, so from what I've found is that the best way to kind of paint the bigger models is to break it down. Stream is good quality, sounds good. Model up close and looks great. Yes, thank you. So I got two webcams. So one for my face, and the thing is that I can actually have it track my face, and then the webcam for the model can track, although every time I move, but haven't figured that one out quite so well. The Alaris Terminators, I have finished those, and I did paint them as one whole model, but those were definitely fun. Although, if I would say the capes do make it a little bit more difficult, though. So I would stick them kind of like on a stick or something. That way, instead of just kind of standing, so that way you can actually get underneath the model, because there's those like underneath, trying to get under there with having the base and everything. It turns into it. So that's what I would suggest. But I really do like the Shadowkeepers. So I think they're absolutely, they look fantastic, and plus their lore is amazing. I wish they would fill it out just a little bit. Like, come on, give us one little hint of what's in the Dark Cell. Okay. I think now I put the rest. Oh, these. Oops. So the black is paint, not prime. That's correct. So I used an airbrush on it, and I used contrast paints through the airbrush. But I have done Shadowkeepers without the airbrush, and it works just fine. In fact, there's some parts of it where it's actually kind of preferred, because then you can do the shadows a lot better. So I think I have some wardens that I tried hand paint like forever ago. These like pistons, I guess. I do lack the extra equipment. My toolkit consists of 3 brushes, clippers, and carpet cutting knives. I do struggle with the not fully built before painting. It does cause problems. Hey, it took me a long time, and really the only reason why I got the green light to buy the extra stuff is because I'm like, hey, I'll try to make content for YouTube and everything. That's kind of the reason why I got the airbrush. But I did hand painting for a fair amount, probably about a year, and then I got the airbrush. So I would like to say you can do everything an airbrush can just by hand. You just have to change your technique. So you learn how to do a really good dry brush and stippling. You can actually forego the airbrush. It's just the airbrush is just faster at it. And I am a firm believer it is the artist that makes the art, not the tool. So, because I mean, I still have never gotten the $60 or the $60 brushes or something, like the really expensive ones. These I got basically included up for some paint, and these they're just Walmart. So because as far as I know, I am not good with my brushes. They are very I would go through them way too fast, no matter how hard I try to keep them nice. The metallics on black look great. Yeah, the only thing is just it's a hard black to kind of sticks. So I'm trying to be very careful with the metallics and stay in the lines, if you will. So that's why I'm going a little bit on the slower side with this model. Normally I would just be slapping everything together. Trying to go as, not fast, but definitely a lot faster than what I'm doing. I'm basically holding my breath every time I put the brush to the. Yeah, but I think I still have some brushes, right, that I've used for like the past year. Like, for sure this one, like the brush is like, you can see it bends, right? It wobbles and everything. So, and actually, I think this is the first brush I ever had, and it's I at least still use it on some occasions, right? But like I say, there's no point in buying a $50 brush, right? It uses the hair of an extinct armadillo or some other crazy theme, right? If you're like, well, you don't know the basics to utilize it. So even I can't justify myself on it. There's other things I think I would buy, but I'm probably wrong. I'm sure somebody that has like the super expensive brush is like, no, makes all the difference. I am very much not an artist, and my dry brush is my mom's a makeup brush, and I try to use sponges too. Sponges are really good, so I have been looking into getting to more sponges, and I'm tempted to try Black Templars with sponges. So it's been like, I have them. They're somewhere in this office. Even black application with spray. Yeah, it's very hard to, like, I basically so when I spray something and I want to cover something up, I'll actually use silly putty. Silly putty will hold long enough to the model, and it's actually a fairly decent masking material. And it's just, you get to reuse it too. So, and it doesn't matter how nasty it gets, it's still good. So that's one thing that I learned, and it's cheap too. More money for models. I'm still at the models before brushes phase. I mean, we all got to start somewhere. Like, I think I only have one army that I could say is fully painted, and that's my Death Guard. I'm going to go so far because I will airbrush like the boss later on once the model is side and do like that the Iron Warrior definitely provides a lot better coverage than the Retributor armor. I think I'm just going to fill all this in. On a shield, I once managed to make it so that it looked weathered with a 100% realistic of paint flecking off. Never could recreate it for now for my Magnus Opus. I can feel that in my bones. I remember it was my Angron model. I went all out on it, and I just feel like it is my Magnus Opus. Because I literally did like I got the Citadel's box of skulls, and I got like 5 boxes, and literally it is a mountain of skulls that Angron is standing on. So I'm sure I have it somewhere on my channel. So, or wait a minute, I think I used that one recently on one of my shorts. Yeah, that's right. It was the Angron versus Gilliman. And Gilliman is, so far, he is my least favorite to paint Primarch, solely because of all that trim, that gold trim. Just, it killed me. And he waited in sub-assembly to be finished for probably about a year because of it. So let's get the box over. We also have to do all the pipes and stuff. Nice thing is that with the metallic, you can go over it with contrast for a different type of color as well. So let's say I want to do something with this underside table, and I'm like, well, I want to change it to a different color. I can like a brown or black contrast and gum it up. So we have all this stuff here. Same with the on the same rank and file guy. I dropped some watered down purple paint. He's playing plums on his face, creating the best shaded face of any of my models. Yeah, I think I did. Purple is a really good color. I've started to really enjoy including purple in a lot of my models. because it's just so versatile because uh, it can easily kind of blend or fit in or use as a contrast color. So like your blue, it really goes well with your blues and green, and you can use as a contrast for like a red. Oh, there's also his eyes. So I kind of try to avoid the the faces and stuff. Um, I really just kind of go over the helmets, and I'll just because those eye lenses are just so much better than trying to get like the pupils. Every time I try doing a face, just yeah, it just does not work out in my favor. Like I would rather try drawing hands blindfolded than trying to paint those faces. Good. Other side. Gotta do here, here. Also, just kind of touching, hitting where I want. Also, cool. That way I don't forget to do it on one side and then not do it on the also kind of helps fits it in my head. I learned that too. My first two guard models, I was in the must build models the way they look like on the box art face. I still feel like I wouldn't say it has to be the same as on the box, but I definitely do take a lot of inspiration uh, from the model art. But it is just so hard to try to copy that. Um, I don't know. Like I have a lot of hard trouble kind of as good as the box art. But I mean, but then I'm reminded like, hey, those guys they'll spend 10 hours on one guardsman because that's their whole job, and then I'm like, well, you can't really do that. Gotta settle for maybe 2 hours of guardsman. There's a reason why I only have 10 kitty and shock troopers. But they look great though. What color do you think will the steerings? Oh, hmm. My go-to is normally a green. Seeing how yeah, green is normally my go-to when it comes to or red. And you can ask those types of questions. There's no I do not try to hide my painting thought process, because one thing I learned is that if you just start, like, if people never ask questions, there's going to be a lot of stuff that's okay. So I definitely learned that in my personal life at work. It's like if somebody doesn't ask questions, there's going to be a lot of stuff that just gets totally being like overseen. Do you pick up White Dwarf? Which from Twitch? Hey. Danko. I actually don't pick up White Dwarf, mainly because it's just I really don't live near a Games Workshop store, and I feel like that's the place where to buy it. So I don't even know if they will ship it to your house, right? Because like sometimes you get models or something with it. I don't know. This is probably one of those things where it's like, of course, like hindsight 2020. Of course they would. I don't know. And also, if I were to get White Dwarfs, so I have 3 young boys, and those paper does not last. It either gets drawn on or gets torn up. I get mine from a local Warhammer store. Yeah, see, like I always feel like it will, like stuff like that just has to come from the store directly. I gotta clean the brush. It's good every now and then. Yo, what's up, Voigo? How was your games? Goodness. Here. Scooter here has the don't ask questions policy, sometimes hard to get over. We even have a saying, question asker dot first. The don't ask question policy. Is that the don't, like, if you have something, don't ask where you brought it, or? Going over like all these railings or something would be perfect. This metallic. Good on a win streak. Hey, there you go. It's almost don't, like, I'm assuming it's almost an hour for your Warhammer store. It's about an hour for me as well. A little bit more than that. part of. Oh, don't ask questions ever to anyone. Don't smile. Because why are you smiling when everyone is not? Don't wear better clothes than your teacher. Never look a state official in the eyes. Jeez. That's that seems rough. That seems rough. I do not have that wherever you're from. That just sounds horrible. Like I remember when I was in high school, it was actually kind of funny because there was a there was a guy, I don't even remember the guy's name, but he had such a nice car. It puts like all the teachers to shame. But I mean it, like he got it because it like his parents or something were like doctors. And he had like all like the under lights and everything. That's Eastern Europe. I mean, then can't you just be like, hey, here's some vodka? Just so I've never been to Europe. It's like one of the few places I've actually never been. I've been to Africa and I haven't been to Europe. But it would be nice to go see though. So I am hoping in a few months to be able to go to a work uh do a business trip over in UK and totally go to go to the Warhammer world. I flat out told my bosses to be like, "Oh yeah, like I would like to go, but not because of the job or anything, but because of Warhammer." And they kind of looked at me and they'd be like, "Well, we'll see." We have those here too. You come to school on a bike, and a dude drives to school on a quad that costs 9 months of your dad's salary. Yeah, that's about right. But then you just kind of, if he's an asshole, then you just bring the tractor and just tow it, right? You just you get the forklift, you put it somewhere where he can't just drive off, you know? Not that I've never done that or suggested it. But you know, actions have consequences. Don't be the most unlikable person at school. Not that I was liked, but still, there's some people that they were just not nice to be around by anybody. I was just weird, quiet kid. Oh, buttons. Bum bum bum. In betweener here. Like the donations folks give at church. Oh, you're talking about like don't like the don't look a state official in the eye kind of thing. I think this will be good as gold, and this be good as like a dark copper. Pull this as metallic. Great. Metallic. Oh, they're a-holes to everyone. Better stay away from people like that. Very segregated society. Bike dudes hang out with bike dudes. Don't hang with footwalkers or quad drivers. I have the idea of buying the magazine will help keep the Warhammer store in business here, basically. Yeah, like the thing is just like I used to love going into the Warhammer store when I used to live in the used to live close to one, but it's just like while the guy was nice, it just it just stopped feeling super inviting. Like you can't really hang out there. It just felt like, hey, he has to meet this quota, and he's just kind of like, hey, I need you to buy something to stay open, and I'm like, as much as I want to, it's just like I can't just drop $50 or 60, $70 every time I go into the store, you know. Just like it's not that's not sustainable. But I feel like GW was starting to take the hint of that. I don't know. It's like a call it just a sixth sense gut. I think people are starting to break. Like people like while they're making the same amount of money, it's like they're just people are just not spending more. They're just buying the lesser amount with the same dollars. Yeah, like I want to say yes on the segregation part, but I also can't talk much because I have my own motorcycle now. But I did that when I lived in the city because it was just so much easier, especially when I was single at the time. Being able to just kind of hop on the bike, go to school, well, go to university, and then just head on back and just kind of zip in between traffic. So I know in here I want to do the metallic, but I'm thinking maybe just do a different different metal. We'll try a third color tonight. So I was thinking of a good brass or bronze. So there's Balthazar gold. This new color, the Warplock bronze. I think the Warplock is just too dark. Um, Runelord brass. I think this is going to be the color that. Balthazar blue. Let's change and paint. Or that felt good. They're now a luxury product. Yeah, that's the thing. Because I want to get my friends and stuff into it, but I can't be like, oh yeah, hey, by the way, it's gonna be like $500 just to get like the little army, right? Because it'd be like more realistic. It's gonna be more like 1,000 once you include the paint and all that stuff. It's just like, and they just see that and they're like, no, don't got that. And I'm like, and I can't even like, yeah, no, can't can't be mad at them. Oh, weird. You know, I do kind of like how that looks as a nice little accent color. At some point, the cost of models will get so crazy that either people will start to make good quality copies or will start buying printers. As somebody who has a 16K printer, resin printer, it is, you don't even see the layer lines. Let me see if I can find an example. See, like, forget the dog hair, but like, you can't, it for the average person, it's gonna be fine. Even having a few layer lines. Yeah, the bronze looks good, doesn't it? And I can't fault people, especially when it's like, hey, oh yeah, hey, just get the, like, let's say they want to do knights, you know? The printer will literally pay for itself. And I think GW really needs to kind of either pull the prices back and do more quantity than just like, because you're just chasing profits, you know, just because you're like, well, we know they're going to pay for it anyway, so why should we care? And just not sustainable. And it's just like, there's also a lot of, I think there's a couple of recasters, right, that make pretty good recasts. Those recasters only exist those recasters only exist because there's that much of a price difference. Like, if it was actually not that big of a price difference, they would just go out of business. Now you can do that fun flame effect. Oh, like the heat, right? The heat of the exhaust. Is that what you're talking about? Yeah, that would be fun. There's another spot I can code of this. A little bit of bronze. $700 with import tax for GW originals, or $400 for printers, or $700 for a really good printer, and you start a business. Oh, like on the flamers? Yeah, so I actually have those. Let me actually grab some example models. So I feel like I'm actually pretty decent on kind of like the actual flames. So a little bit of dust on that one. But yeah, so flames right here. And kind of like these hot blue flames. Ooh, that's no attention to the cloth. Then but like as terms of like kind of burnt the burnt bronze, yeah, I could definitely do some work on that. Maybe I'll like watch a YouTube tutorial or something. Or for example, sell models for 40K. The guys that started it were once recasters. Thank you. Yeah, it's just because I want to support GW. I like the thought of buying original models, but it's like I can't. Like, let's say you want to start an like an orc army, you're going to be spending easily thousands of dollars if you just want to have just like a tide of boys, you know. And then you're like, you can't fault them, especially or like guardsmen. Hey, you need to have like 100 guardsmen, right? And they're $60 for 10. It's like it's not possible. So I can't fault people for 3D printing. Like I only do accessories and then some other stuff, but I'm more practical with my 3D printer. And also like the sculptors are getting really good too. Like it would be nice if GW went and said, "Hey, we're just going to sell like official files." Right? I mean even if it's for the GW prices, right? But then or you know what, not even that. I mean, shoot, I mean they could get away with it and then be like, "Hey," and then you sell like the physical models. But I don't know. I doubt they're going to fix anything though, until it finally pops, which is the sad part because I don't want them to pop. Uh, I guess maybe we do the Balthazar blue. I mean, the Balthazar gold right here. Do you like the edge highlights GW painters do? So I will do a little bit of edge highlighting. But in terms of, hey, let's do this off shade color, like if I were to do a very light shade, no, I don't. But I'll do blending and I'll have a gradient, or I'll airbrush, right? And I'll have 4 or 5 different paints that will transition from one color to the next. I get the models, but I know the guy who wanted his Marine chapter to be dedicated to bears. He needed like 80 shoulder pads with animal heads for GW, and that is like 8 upgrade sprues. Yeah, see, that's the thing where it's just like that just kills you. And like the thing is, you know, it doesn't cost a lot to make the prints. Like the plastic is like the injected or something. Don't get me wrong, they're good models, right? They are very good at high quality models, but like there has to be some take and give, you know. Just gonna kind of this, and then I'll just hit it back with some silver. Is it called chop brushing, dry brushing? Slap chop. That's probably what you're thinking. You do like a black, and then you go over gray, and then you do a contrast paint over it. And I have done that, although it doesn't have the right look that I like. Now, if you're just like, hey, I want to get the color on the models and make it look like, hey, I technically painted my models, yeah, that's a perfectly good way. But for me, that's kind of like, hey, I'm kind of showcasing them for the content. It's just, I can't justify that for me. But if you're just going to like, hey, I got to paint 20 of these before the next match or something because I'm in an escalation league, I'm not going to fault you at all. Oh, yeah, it looks good, right? Has a nice little accent. Bum bum bum. Part is just to make fine. That's what having that feather touch, it does help. I think slap chop can work. I wouldn't do it as my last layer, but yeah, there's nothing inherently wrong with that method. It's just another toolbox. If you're, the thing is, it's just if it just doesn't fit with your style, then it doesn't fit. Don't know if this right here should stay black. Move to the copper. Let's see if we can put some gold on that outline. How that makes everything, because then that will definitely help. Yeah, see, I don't know about that. Just the way how those two colors uh, meet when they're touching, this does not look right for me. So, I want to try. Hold on, there is some back. Oh no. Don't worry, I can fix it. That's the one. I think it will. This will at least be covered up, mostly by cloth, so I'm not going to be upset about that. But yeah. All right, I think we'll leave that be for right now. Yeah, I gotta find out a different color. That gold just kind of clashes with that bronze. I'm just so like I have a like my paint's up on the wall, so when I'm just looking, um, maybe a purple. If you had a black prime flat surface, then sponged it with a light gray white. Would layering an opaque paint yellow or purple leave the black undertone? So it's not 100% opaque. It can, unless if you just go like layer, but if you do one or two layers, the black, like if you were to compare it between a black primer and a gray primer, you can still see a difference. But that's not going to be the biggest. I think. So I know I'm going to paint red on their capes. So I think that would be close. I'm going to try something. Know how this is work. this color interesting. I think maybe a blue palette work. Thought. Grab. Thunderhawk blue. That's not. So I'm gonna try a Grey Knight steel. That looks, because it should be cool enough copper, but it's different enough of a color for that iron wart. I mean, it definitely looks better. Yeah, you think? Maybe make the gold look very green or a blue patina heavy. Paint opacity is huge with finishing over here. Yeah, so if you're able to blend a little bit, then it can also go along. This is all. Yeah, I was thinking maybe use this as a base and then use like a green shade. Keep going. It definitely does look a lot better than just that gold. Maybe a glacial eyes? So a lighter kind of blue contrast. I don't want to take too much away from this metallic paint. The gray looks really nice. Yeah. Here's some confirmation because I'm like, I will always take criticism or comment. Looks good. Sometimes it's just like, well, you just gotta like in a little bit of a maybe something would look better this way. I was referring to something basically transparent that pulls just a hair for some end detail. Yeah, so you're probably thinking like a shade, right? I could find a. So I like using Poxwalkers as a shade. So it's not as strong as a contrast, but it adds a really good kind of the shading, so it pulls into the crevices. Yeah. Okay. So if we were to do a contrast like that, it would look a little bit different. Well, we'll just keep going. But going to back to kind of like the edge highlighting, so you see like these rivets and everything. I will kind of go back and touch those with a brighter color. But in terms of just like 1,000 bit of edge highlighting, right? Like if I were to do something like the Berserkers from World Eaters, that is just that would make me hate my life. Oh, yeah. A little bit of. We'll just touch that. That's where that a really small dry brush may shine. Yeah, so I do have one of those. I can find it. Yeah. If I'm doing some very fine dry brushing, this is the one that I like to use. So because then you can do side, and then you can also do vertical. Uh, that's my go-to for smaller model dry brush. But then if not, then I'll actually kind of go with something big like this. Like if I'm doing basing for basing for a base. sides. We'll just this with the Iron Warriors. Yeah. Our edges definitely one of the more harder. All right, yeah, that Grey Knight skill definitely saved the day. It seems like has that nice accent, and then once it has that red drape over it, it'll definitely calm itself down. So, see, I think I'm done with metallics on the bike. So like I still have to do kind of like the reds on the hand grips and everything. But I think I will probably have to start working on the actual guy running around. But it's getting late for me, so I think I'm actually going to have to call it. And hopefully, you know what? This has actually been pretty successful. So I'll probably try to do it tomorrow as well. So it'll probably start around the same time. Is that a decal on the fin? No, it's actually like mold injected in. So I normally don't do a lot of decals. I like doing a lot of kind of the raised edges. So, but I will have to just start learning how to use decals with what do you call it? My Black Templars. So that's going to be the other thing that I'm going to have to start painting. So I'm excited for that one. So I'll actually be using sponges on that design. But I still have to paint this guy, and of course there's still a total of 3. So, but we got a ways to go. But thank you so much for hanging out. I really did appreciate it. Yeah. So I don't know how to end it, but hopefully you guys will come back later and see where we go from here. But until then, I'm Ecov. I'm signing off.